what have I learned after selling $100,000 worth of Pokemon cards? My name is Corey. I've been running a Pokemon card business for 47 weeks now, and we have hit $100,000 in revenue. This is not profit. We're just shy of 200,000. Shit, I wish. $20,000 in profit. So I just want to share like my experience so far, what I've learned, like what's been different since the beginning till now. A lot has changed in the 47 weeks, and I've been collecting a little bit before that, but yeah, it's crazy at the moment. We'll talk about that, and just this is going to be more catered towards New Zealand because I'm from New Zealand, if you can't tell by my boring accent. People say New Zealand have a cool accent. I think it's quite boring, but I like the Irish. I got a little bit of Irish in me, but fuck, I'm on a tangent. Anyway, Pokemon Pro is absolutely crazy right now, and in this kind of market I'm kind of scared because everything is going up like this. At some point it has to crash, right? It has to. you can't think it's just going to keep going up because it's like stocks. If you think a stock is just going to keep going up, then why don't you put everything into it? You know, it's going to come down at some point. Otherwise it'd just be guaranteed money. You'd be silly not to put your money into it, but it's going to come down at some point. Someone is going to get burned, maybe myself. But after selling $100,000 worth of Pokemon cards, one of the biggest things here in New Zealand is that we are quite a small country, and if you have a large card, like a large amount of value, it's quite hard to move it. We're also quite a poor country, so we have a small population, and then the population that likes Pokemon, it's grown a lot since the beginning, but it's still quite small. And then the population that likes Pokemon that has like a big amount of income that they can just throw into Pokemon cards is even smaller again. So I was sitting on a big card, a Venusaur PSA 8.5 Shadowless first edition. I was sitting on that card for a long time, probably like 8 months. I only sold it like a couple of months ago, and I've been sitting on it since like the start of my journey. Whereas if I was over in America, I think I would be able to sell that card a lot faster. Sure, I could list it on eBay, but we in New Zealand don't have an eBay domain, so I can't list it here and sell it to overseas because you're just going to get stuck with another $100 fee, and now there's tariffs and whatnot, so I just can't be bothered dealing with that stuff. I ship to Australia sometimes. That's like the only place I ship to that's overseas. Even though it's not on my website, I don't do it there. You could argue that it's vintage, but I'm sitting on a PSA 9 Bubble Mew, which is probably one of the most popular like cards in the Scarlet and Violet era. You would think I'd be able to sell that fast. Nope, been sitting on that for 6 weeks. So it's annoying because I would like to have smaller margins and do that on bigger cards and just like make more money than selling $50, $20 cards and make the same, like maybe make bigger profit, but that's like 50 more deals I have to do. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's one thing I have learned. It's kind of annoying, but it's kind of like, it puts a back foot on like your business. I would love to do this full time, but I definitely couldn't do that full time. And also we don't have a lot of shows here, but myself and Hade are going to try and fix that, make more shows around New Zealand. Like coming into this last year, I probably only done, doing this for 9 months, I've only done like five shows. That's because it's not that I can't get to any. I've been to all the ones that I've like pretty much could get to, but now it's getting more popular in New Zealand, and more people are starting to organize more shows, which is great. That's just you can get more inventory and like just sell more. And speaking of inventory, that's another thing about this Pokemon card business. That's one of the hardest things is getting more inventory. I'm pretty lucky creating content like this. People reach out to me and ask like to sell their collections. I buy at a pretty good price, but with that and this getting more popular, there is other people like me that have like jumped on board. I don't know. I don't want to say it's because like they just see the money thing. Maybe some people have said they started doing it because they watch me, which is great, but I've just created more competition for myself, you know? So if you're not fast, like on Facebook groups and stuff like that, you see deals pop up, you got to be pretty much sitting on there, like scrolling all the time. I don't have time for that. So pretty lucky that people reach out to me because it just saves me sitting on there all the time. But if you go to shows, it's much more easier because people come up to you, you know, like, oh, are you buying? Fucking A, I'm buying. I'm always buying. I've been buying too much lately. And yeah, again, like I'm scared about this market because I'm buying at the high, and a lot of the cards I'm doing are sending overseas, and it could tank the market could tank by the time those cards get back. Anyway, I'm digressing a little bit. The first couple of shows I did, it was pretty much the same vendors that went to both shows, but now there's like a variety of vendors, which is great. The community is growing. To be honest, if I can be honest, the community in Pokemon, like the people like that are collecting and stuff, are great. But if I'm going to be a little bit honest, some of the vendors are a little bit cliquey, eh? To be honest, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, it's nearly like a flex. Like, yeah, look at me, bro. I've got all these cool cards. I don't know how to explain it. You could probably come at me a little bit like, oh, I'm making videos every week. Like, yeah, I sold this and blah, blah, blah. But this, I'm just trying to, I don't know. I'm just trying to document my journey. But some of these, it's nearly like a little cult kind of culture sometimes. I don't know how to explain it, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of stick in my own bubble. But yeah, I feel like there's, and some of them are quite like obnoxious. But yeah, you can just take that as you want to. Maybe you might think, oh, I'm obnoxious and stuff, but I can be a dick, but I'm just being straight up, you know. People are gonna hate me. People hate me for like making content and stuff like this, and I've got, whether they like it or not, I've got quite a, I don't know, a bit of a sway in the Pokemon world, a bit of a following. So yeah, but they just hate me for that. So it's all good, bro. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's kind of like, it's nearly like a pissing contest sometimes. You're like, yeah, look at me. I don't know. I'm just gonna say that and leave it as that. But that's just with anything, right? Be like a car salesman. It's kind of like that, or just like a real estate agent kind of vibe, you know? Like, the real estate agents got that kind of like salesy kind of, you know, I'm the man kind of vibe. That's what it kind of gives sometimes. And it's like, bro, it's Pokemon cards, relax. Anyway, back to the sales. I found that like a lot of my binders and stuff, when I go to shows, those kind of cards do well. Like the lower end from like, I would say under 100 to all the way down to $1. All those cards do well, but those cards take a lot of time. Like, got a binder right here. Show it. It's like all these dollars. I've got like a cheap binder. When I have like a start of the show, it just gets cleaned out, bro. And then, but in terms of like, I just threw that on the ground. In terms of pricing it and all that kind of stuff, it takes ages. Like, bro, I don't want to like look up a card $1. You know what I mean? I would rather do bigger cards again and just sell them for like, sell them and make a smaller margin. That's what I would like to do. But that's just what I have learned selling Pokemon cards, especially at shows. And on my website, I don't usually like list those kind of cards because I have to do it manually. You can get like import a software onto your website that's like connected to TCG Player, and you can just like, I think like just like cross it over and just click a button and it's listed there. But that's like $140 a month, so I don't want to do that, and I don't really want to do that and make the effort and time and organization yet, but maybe I will get to that point. That's not my model I want to do, and I don't really do too much sealed either. I do a little bit of Japanese. It's easier to get, but Japanese here is not as popular. It would be good if it was popular because it's easier to get, but again, the English stuff is, yeah, it's hard to find, and now it's just so expensive. And even like, I'm a pretty good price, I feel like I am, compared to some other like rip and shippers. And people will be like, bro, your prices are crazy. But that's I'm trying to beat the other people that, even the big stores I'm trying to beat. But yeah, it's just hard to get the product. And with it being so popular, of course, there are scammers. Yes, there are scammers everywhere. I know, like, poor Hatu just got scammed like $2,500, and that like hurts my soul because I was scammed at the beginning of my journey. Luckily, it was only like $90, but if a deal is too good to be true, don't buy it. It's usually, it's too good to be true for a reason. And people, again, are just so money hungry. That's what I found in this like hobby. People are so money hungry. They just want to make a quick buck, and they can just see that Pokemon is popular, and they can take advantage of that. So I found that there was a lot of scammers, even on the Facebook group. So if you are buying something, make sure you do your research, do due diligence on those people. And even if they are legit and haven't sold to anyone, maybe you can use a middleman, send to someone that you both know, and then once they have the product, you can send the money or whatever. But another thing I have learned is that like people want to get a good deal, including myself. But in terms of like selling, I've like tried to sell like one card. Let's say it was a, I remember this one off the top of my head. It was a popular one. It was a Charizard 151 PSA 10, bro. English. At the time, it was like $1,200 market price. I don't know what it is now. Probably like close to 2 grand New Zealand. But people were hitting me up with like, yeah, I'll buy it for $800, bro. Cash right now, I can do it, bro. It's like, bro, you're not doing me a favor. $800 is like 75% of market, 70% of market. It's like, bro, I can't even get it for 70% of market. So everyone is looking for a deal, which is great. But you know, if you're a buyer and you're like wanting to get a card of someone and it's just like one card and you're offering 70%, bro, and it's like a popular card, especially a PSA 10 card, I'm just gonna laugh at you, bro. So just don't be a dick if you're making a deal, bro. Like, if if it was like a big lot, then I could come down a little bit myself. But I I have a margin that I have to do, you know, and I'm GST registered now and all that kind of stuff. So just yeah, don't be a dickhead and make a silly offer, because I'm just gonna laugh at you and just be like, not even look at your message when you come out with a counter. You know what I mean? So yeah, everyone is just trying to make a quick buck and wants the best deal. So that's one big thing I've learned in this hobby. To be fair enough, it's expensive. Everyone wants to make a deal, including myself. People probably laugh at my offer, but I'll just be straight up with like my margins and stuff. But yeah, depending on what it is, like if it's got EXs and stuff, bro, it'd be close to 60. But the more higher end, the more liquid, the faster I can sell it, higher percentage I do. Even though there is money to be made in this hobby, people were like, oh, you're just in this hobby to make money. The reason why I started this hobby was to, and this kind of business was to get more money so I could buy more cards for myself, which is what I'm still doing now. But even though there is money to be made, it is still a lot of work. You know, you might just sell one card, maybe you just sell this little promo, one promo like that. You got to package that up, put it into penny sleeve, put it into a top loader. I usually like bubble wrap it or put it in between some cardboard, bubble wrap it in a bubble mailer, and then send it out. You know, so maybe I make $1 on one card like that for like a little, like not a little amount of work, a lot of work. So there's just a lot more work that goes into it, and it takes time. You know, your time is money. So that's why I want to, if I do sell little cards like that, I want to try and sell a lot of them at once. So just be prepared if you are thinking of doing this. It does take a lot of time, and your time is money at the end of the day. So yeah, that's why rip and ships are great. But bro, I do rip and ships once a week if we can. Sometimes we might not do one because I'm busy or just people don't have the money to do it, and that's fine. We do it fortnightly. You might see a lot of the numbers that I throw out, $2,000 a week, whatever, make like 10%, 20% on those numbers. And it takes me quite a long time to package up 20, 25 orders. So I would say like an hour and a half, just to get or to make it like not so nothing gets damaged. And you got other expenses too. You got to buy like the bubble wrap or like I like to buy like nice cardboard corrugated stuff, and yeah, it's just so much more work and stuff goes into it. People don't realize that. They just see, oh yeah, they see the sale and they're like, bro, he just made that much money just like that. It's not just like that. There is a lot more behind the scenes than people realize. But I like it. It keeps my mind busy. I gotta stay busy, otherwise I feel useless and I start thinking of other stuff, other bad stuff that's going on in my life. So this is why I like to do it. I love the grind and I like all that. But other than all the negative stuff, if you would call that negative, it's also so rewarding too. Especially when you go to a show, I like to give out like little stuff to the kids, and they just so appreciative of like anything, and it just like it like fuels my like inner child when I was collecting and stuff, like, you know. So there is also the benefit of that. And yeah, just like when someone pulls a good card, or someone's looking for a card and they find it and they're like so happy, that makes me happy too. So if that gets you off too, then you know you're gonna have a good time in this hobby. If you're just in it and you don't even like cards, and like you're just in it for the money. Like, why are you doing it? Like, you a lot of people are like, oh man, I want to start a Pokemon card business, and I'm like, oh yeah, what do you collect? And they're like, I don't collect anything. I'm like, why are you starting, bro? It just seems so silly to me. But yeah, so you got to have like a purpose, and you got to know what you're selling too sometimes. That's why I just stick to mainly Pokemon. I do a little bit of Dragon Ball Z, but some of the score stuff I don't know too much about, mainly only like the newer cards. So I stick to what I know. I would like to do more, like I would love to rip open One Piece, but I don't know too many of the One Piece characters. So, but that's what all I've learned for in the past 47 weeks selling Pokemon cards, $100,000 in revenue. Yeah, this video was just off the top of my head. I should have wrote some stuff down, but if you enjoyed that, make sure you like and subscribe, buy some cards from my website, insanecards.com, join the Facebook group, Insane Legends. Yeah, 100K. I'll probably do a video again in 200K, and I'll write some stuff down. But anyway, thanks for watching. Peace.